right, let's go over that first step.
Well, the first step is number one is recognizing what triggered the disconnect in the first. I mean, the people get into conflict because they get triggered and then they don't know how to respond to the trigger. So what they do is they react to the trigger, and they react mostly with their protective behaviors. What does that mean? Their protective behaviors meaning that they blame, they judge, they criticize, or they shut down, which often is the case in the workplace.
So the very first step is
To identify the trigger.
Step number two is
Identify your sensitivities, is what we call raw spots. And we have 16 raw spots identified, and throughout our research, we have put together a tool called the list of raw spots and emotions. So on the list of raw spots, you have these 16 raw spots.
And these raw spots, you should just print the raw spots or get the tool guide that has the practice journal that has all the raw spots listed, laminate it, put it up so you can see them, memorize them. There's raw spots are like the prior to actually responding to a trigger that occurs, we get hit. It's almost like if you had an injury and you hurt yourself in that same injury, and then the pain that comes from that injury comes up in that moment. So those are what we like to call the sensitivities or raw spots.
Emotions is a big important part in identifying and repairing the connection. So emotions, we have 3 levels of emotions when we do. And what we want to do is we want to clarify and organize our emotions, because as we organize our emotions, we become less overwhelmed. And what happens to us?
Actually, the intensity of emotion, when we don't speak it out loud, it holds so much weight, and it decreases by 70%. That intensity of the emotion decreases by 70% when you actually are able to say it out loud. So oftentimes when someone expresses their emotion, we think we need to fix something or we need to do something right away. It's actually the process of someone expressing their emotion and just saying it out loud and putting light to it that makes this step so significant. All right, let's move on to step number 4. We don't want to give them all the secrets. Okay.
Yes.
Just want to touch the
Step
surface so
number
they get
4.
excited.
Yes, step number 4 is really identifying your automatic thoughts.
Because those are the thoughts that then motivate step number 5.
Number 5, which is protective behaviors. We behave to protect ourselves when we get disconnected. But protect ourselves is actually protecting our relationship, because we long for connection.